I know that this department has not provided the level of services our citizens expect and deserve. I also know that we can do better.
It's no secret population in Detroit is on the decline. Bing says the city can't invest in every neighborhood, but he does plan to focus on creating pockets of density. He also plans to create jobs by investing in education, small businesses, and a light rail system, expected to unite the region and bring people in to take advantage of what our city has to offer.
All the critics and obstacles in the world can't stop us if we have the will to work together.
The next bus that comes up is going to say out of service as if you don't jump on the freeway going back to the terminal. They don't care about it.
And how many have went by like that?
2.
There's 2 going now.
2. They don't care about us.
Sure.
Big at home. He warned.
Sure.
You don't have to worry about it.
Like they don't have no supervisor on the route.
They don't. They don't. Not at night. They don't care.
And also, it's important when people are making decisions to either stay or come, the services that the city is available to offer and other amenities that are generally available in the city. So what this chart depicts is the public services cost compared, so the cost of the city to provide services compared to other cities. What you can see on the right side is the spend per square mile for the city of Detroit is extremely high compared to other cities such as Dallas, San Jose, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. And then what's reflected on the left side is if you also look at it on the spend per capita or on a per person basis, it's also significantly high. So it's estimated that Detroit will spend over $9 million per square mile to deliver city services in 2011. So certainly there are opportunities for increased efficiency in cost and service delivery. And then this chart also depicts declining infrastructure revenues and the city's ability to continue to reinvest in these important infrastructure systems to keep them going.
It's all on the news, it's in the neighborhood. But we the motor city, people supposed to get cars.
All right.
But everybody can't afford a car. And they're about to cut the bridge cars off this month starting.
Question, how you maintain that bus services with stuff like that across the street from the bus stop? You know what I'm saying, like high school students,
It's been a
stuff like
known
that.
fact that abandoned buildings and houses are the last to get knocked down in worst of neighborhoods. Crime is high. They don't knock down houses.
See this right here? Are you on time? I'm 10 minutes late. 10 minutes late. So, what about it? I'm here every 10 minutes. I guess I'm
look on the internet, I listen to them lie to us on the news about how they're going to improve our transportation system in Bean. He for the people with the money. He ain't down for the people that, that's going to work and getting further in their education, trying to become prosperous in the city of Detroit. He's for the people that have, not the have-nots, not the people in progress of getting better. Going to school to become a certified medical assistant.
They don't care. It's messed up. We got like 30 drivers sitting at the terminal waiting for a bus. Ain't no buses to give.
So you got all this money that they plan on spending on trains and
It ain't doing that. It ain't doing that, but going to the fairgrounds and downtown.
sure, did they ever get all the funding to go past the boulevard?
I'm not gonna benefit from it, so I don't care.
Sure, like, I'm gonna benefit from it because it's gonna cost more than the bus.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like the people moving. With Roman John, took all our money and put up people moving.
Yep, some people who come into Detroit downtown, tourists, suburbanites to get around downtown.
Yeah.
All those business people to get to lunch a little bit better so they ain't gotta go out to the car and all that. While they paying people to move into the city of Detroit, they should be up there trying to hire some old drivers or something.
What changes are most necessary to improve transportation? So improvements for A, pedestrians, and that will come in the form of sidewalk or crosswalk investments. Improvements for B, bicycles, it could include bicycle lanes. C, improvements for automobiles, and that would be investments in street maintenance and street repairs. Or D, improvements for mass transit riders, and that would include bus and rail improvements. So if you all were in control of how the city spent money on transportation improvements, which sort of one of these things would you spend the money on? %78% of you responded that mass transit rider improvements are necessary to improve transportation, followed by automobiles. Again, that will be street maintenance and repairs.
They voice their concerns and different little memes they pop up with. But still, don't nothing change. A lot of words, a lot of hot air. The next day it'll be the same way.
It's been over an hour. They don't care. I need to get my little young cousin talking about how the city of Detroit don't care about the people that ride the bus. They come up with fresh rides. How you playing?
Next stop.
Something's gotta give though.
Yeah, right.
I just couldn't believe that, and I know that majority of the people who was even at that little light rail thing was only there because of it was at a church and people in the congregation found out about it. But even though they didn't tell anybody about this, I got
that's the disguise of, they say we had a public meeting, but it was at a church. But yeah, the absolute majority of the church members go. But outside of that, the overall public stuff.
Like they had the public forum where they talked about in Detroit in general. I'm walking around because I was given permission to, film there.
Right.
But everyone I go talk to is a city official. They can't give comment. They work for the city. Well, how many of y'all in here work for the city? Because if y'all ain't doing it but sitting here talking yourselves, then what's the point? Y'all just wasting all our money. And majority of y'all don't even live in Detroit.
That's true.
But we paying y'all to not do, but not to not provide us any service.
About a good 35 to 45% of the workforce live outside Detroit.
don't know. They got slides. They talking about how many people is illiterate, who works outside Detroit, percentages. They got all that. They say only 8% of the people who don't have cars in the city of Detroit take public transportation. Why should they? When y'all mismanaged the crap out of it, then y'all slashed it all. Now y'all got all these funds and y'all want to build some train that ain't gonna benefit no one except for that person walking out of City County building with a briefcase.
Down in Midtown there, gas stations, they building a feed from there to Wayne State.
I know one thing, they better make some money off of it. It's not like no.
It's not beneficial for the amount of money.
Not being spent because the private investors is investing to it. They're gonna look at a return,
That's it.
and they looking at a return with a profit.
Right.
So even years after it's built, we gonna still be paying for it.
That's right.
I mean, I don't want to say it like this, but I don't know how many people actually in the city of Detroit actually care. But
I remember back in the day I heard about how everybody was going on strike. I'm talking about like for us. You know, it was carpooling. I wonder if anybody gonna get together and be able to do that if we need to be able to take care of our business and keep consistency, like looking out for real. You know, that's what we do at school, and we don't know each other from nothing. You know, we don't know each other, but we all go to school together. I feel like we can do that with complete strangers at school. You know, we have something in common with, you know, with trying to further our education. Why we can't do that? Trying to get around with our business.
sure, hold on. You said
This question is related to transportation. Have public-private partnerships been considered for bus operations? And where a regional authority would contract out bus operations?
And then also the fact that 33% of Detroit households do not have access to a private vehicle. And certainly we are a very auto-dominated city and region based on the infrastructure, so it's very hard to get around when you don't have a car. And so as you can see depicted here, households without a vehicle, the darker the concentration on the map, the greater the concentration of Detroiters in that area who do not have access to a private vehicle. So how do we think about transportation and transit in a way that accommodates that?
The bus system, the transit system is outdated. It needs to be restructured. It needs to be a different director. The whole system is we get new buses, but we got still the same old methods. It don't work. Whether a financial emergency man need to come in, somebody need to come in, because as far as I'm concerned, all city services are neglected, are corrupt, and taxpayers, we're the ones who lose. People that live here and pay taxes, we just got to go into the Kilpatrick thing, which I don't really want to go into.
Route 49,
The bus system is ridiculous.
yo, how long some y'all been waiting?
About 45 minutes.
About an hour.
Every night around this time. Yes, every day faithful.
Sure, about hour and a half.
Yes, and sometimes the 7-mile bus will drive right on past you with their lights on, talking about no service. And it's only like 1 or 2 buses on the bus line. They got like over 400 and something buses and ain't nobody fixing them up, and only got 200 and something buses running the city of Detroit. And ain't nobody getting there on time. There's no jobs. We need help.
But Bing said, in the paper, they said Bing was probably gonna lay off some mechanics. What's that?
City council ride the bus. I guarantee you we got riding buses.
I thought it said city council should ride the bus.
I guarantee you.
got complaints. If they don't get enough complaints, it'll just be business as usual. It'll just sit there and be another abandoned.
Waiting for another child or something like that to get hurt.
Until somebody die, get hurt or raped, and then oh, we're knocked down now. We gotta do something now. Basically, all the supervisors, everybody in charge will be fired, bring in new people to reconstruct the departments, listen to citizens' complaints, and try to make some changes. That's like what they call that's like a pipe dream, because it hasn't happened. A lot of talk,
And then the fiscal position of DDOT, which is unsustainable, as you'll see on the chart here. The red bars reflect the total operating expenses. The yellow reflect the federal and state subsidies that we get to support DDOT. And then blue represents the sales and charges, including the fare box. And so basically what you can see here is from 2002 to 2009, on an annual average, the city has to support or subsidize DDOT $140 million from the general fund. So as you can see, this is not sustainable. So how do we think about the ways to reform DDOT to meet needs but also increase efficiency? If you do not currently use public transportation, which of the following best describes the reason? A, unreliability. B, cost. C, lack of access to a bus stop. D, safety and or quality of the bus stop. Or E, inability to reach your destination. So we talked about only 8% of Detroiters using it for work, but if we think about all the reasons and all the people and why they don't use it, certainly this is helpful for us as we think about improvements and reforms in DDOT. %41% of you indicated that safety and or quality of the bus stop is the reason that you don't use public transportation, followed by 28% who indicate that unreliability is the reason why you don't. So certainly an indication of areas where we need to work on DDOT as it relates to the specific needs of this community.
So we better slow down. People right there close to the you got your car in your pocket?
Go ahead. All right, man. All right, have a blessed night.
access to jobs. B, less auto dependency. C, increased economic development. D, improved connectivity. Or E, if you think there is little or no benefit. And so if we think about the fact that generally the area we're in now is sort of far out from the Woodward corridor, how do we make sure that those connections and the value added from light rail extends beyond just the Woodward corridor? %38 of you indicated that increased economic development is the most important benefit of creating light rail, followed by 22% who indicated that access to jobs is the most important benefit. So certainly varying opinions on the benefits of light rail. So we have an opportunity to develop attractive, reliable, and equitable transportation options for all Detroiters. Most of you are well aware of the fact that the city has secured $425 million that's been committed to the Woodward Light Rail project, something that has been in the works for a number of years, so certainly good to see it progress.
What is the Woodward corridor?
The Woodward corridor is downtown to the boulevard. That's the Woodward corridor.
That's not far.
Hold on, who lives over there from Detroit?
Okay, nobody. They're trying to get us all out of the city of Detroit and push us to the suburbs. Did you know that?
You should have came with your best foot forward. You know what I'm saying? If you don't put your best foot forward here, come up with that. With that proposal. You know? Give it a shot. But he didn't.
The thing is, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm just wondering what they don't do now, because right now this being administration ain't doing nothing for us. They ain't doing nothing. They ain't investing all their money into
Before he got down, he said he wasn't going to do that before. That was surprised me that he got in there. Like, hold on, we carry a day more than 144,000 people.
truth, and I ain't gonna lie, we would have been better off with Cockrell in there. I just be wondering, you know what I'm saying, would we have been better off with Cockrell?
Represents both services that the city provides as well as other amenities that impact quality of life. Same question, but second most important as it relates to thinking about Detroit's future. A, who will live here? B, where will people live? Or C, what services will people need? And again, asking that you don't use the same answer that you use for most important. So 46% of you indicated that what services will people need is most important, followed by 31% who indicated where people live is most important. Second most important, the services and where will people live. Look like some people used to say. And then the fiscal position of DDOT, which is unsustainable, as you'll see on the chart here. The red bars reflect the total operating expenses. The yellow reflect the federal and state subsidies that we get to support DDOT. And then blue represents the sales and charges, including the fare box. And so basically what you can see here is from 2002 to 2009, on an annual average, the city has to support or subsidize DDOT $140 million from the general fund. So as you can see, this is not sustainable. So how do we think about the ways to reform DDOT to meet needs but also increase efficiency?
My thing is Detroit. I mean, Detroit is a city where you got international commerce going on. You got Canada right across the river. Just that in itself. And on top of that, they put casinos here. Then on top of that, you got like the movie industry. You got all these museums and everything like that. Detroit is known for its artwork. And then even on top of that, Michigan got the largest source of fresh water in the whole world. The whole world's largest source of fresh water. And a good portion of that is always gonna flow right down the Detroit River. Right. And all we gotta do is just go down to city council, be like, yo, you gonna do this, and that. You gonna make us some money, we gonna build our city back up.
See, they're taking it, like, okay, I'm not going down there. I'm gonna jump on the drive. Like, huh?
And right, like,
you mad at me. You supposed to be mad at me, but it's not my fault.
hold on.
But you gonna jump on me from my why you so late? Okay. Now after you finish beating me up, then that takes me out of the picture.
But it ain't gonna solve your problem though. I mean,
It ain't gonna solve nobody's problem.
I'm just saying.
In the hospital, and this bus ain't gonna come out. No more.
and then you're gonna be standing out there all night. You're gonna see a whole parade of people walking up 7 miles.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened? Well, Johnson took it in his hand to beat me up.
But see, as long as people sit back and they think that, as long as people sit back and think, oh, he's a mayor, he has power. Mayor B ain't got no more power than what you give him, because he literally works for you. You literally put money in his pocket, food in his mouth.
All right, be careful.
People realize that all these people, that their titles don't mean nothing, they'll be a whole lot better off. I'm gonna get off that song on the bell, but better off people gonna be as soon as they realize that all these titles don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't care if you the mayor. All right, you the mayor. Okay. Does that make you qualified to do? If you so tough the mayor, then how come you? Then how about this? Do your job. All right, man. Yo, you have a blessed night. All right. All right, everybody. God bless.